You're watching Ticket TV. Like, share, and subscribe on your way in.
All right, you guys. So salute everybody. This is a live video right here. Like, share, and subscribe as y'all come on in here. We are live streaming. Appreciate all of you guys that's gonna tap on in. If you guys have not, make sure y'all share the video, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all also hit up our links that are in the description box below. We got Kick, X, TikTok, all of our social medias. Follow us, podcast show, subscribe. We'll drop more podcast episodes later today. Salute to everybody that subscribe to the podcast show and everybody who donates to the stream. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Those links all in the description box. Let's get into what's going on with resident racist Chud the Builder. As this dude is back in court. He was back in court, and now it is going down because they have made a motion to revoke this guy's bond. I repeat. They are now completely trying to revoke his bond, which is going to set his supporters into a different type of rage. His supporters are going to completely lose their minds when they find out that they are trying to get his, hold on, you guys, they're trying to get his his bond completely revoked. When they find this out, this is gonna be so bad for this dude. It's not even gonna be funny, right? So I'm about to show y'all right now what's going on. Hold on one second. All right. So, basically, what happened was Chud had a surprise court appearance. He had a surprise court appearance, and in this surprise court appearance, the prosecutor suggested, y'all can see his beard growing in. He ain't shaving or nothing. His whole beard is growing in now. Yeah, he in there. Boy, he in there suffering. You can tell that black lady about she don't even want to be in there around this guy. She knows he a stone cold racist. They don't want nothing to do with him. But let's go through what happened. As there are new reports out about this guy, man. Apparently, he went to a court date we didn't even know about. This court date popped out of nowhere. And I'm finna show y'all what's going on with Chud so you guys can see. This fool got 99 problems. He really got 99 problems, man. All the bull jive he was doing have now caught up to this dummy. All of the BS he was doing have now caught up to this dummy. And that's why I told y'all he's probably going to spend the rest of his life in prison. I don't think he's going to see outside of a jail wall for a long time, for the rest of his life. So it says the courthouse shooting. This is out of Clarksville now. So this is the local newspaper down there in Clarksville, Tennessee, who's covering everything. And that's the thing. When you tapped in with the local newspapers, you found out the news that everybody else didn't find out. Now, apparently, it says courthouse shooting. The state moves to revoke. So now they're moving to get this Bama out of here. Dalton Etherly's bond as defense pushes to post. So his defense team has now pushed back against this. So they just went to court the other day, and his team is upset because now the defense, and I'm going to tell you why they're pushing to revoke his bond. It says the defense pushed to approve a bail source for Dalton Etherly in Clarksville courthouse shooting case while prosecutors sought to revoke this man's bond. Now let's get into this report. So apparently it says motions to post and revoke bond were argued on last Friday. So this man had a court date this past Friday, and nobody knew. It all went under wraps. Nobody knew he had a court date on Friday. He was in court on Friday. You can see his beard right here. All this shit. These are new pictures. This is a new picture right here. You can see his beard is grown in. So yeah, he feeling it. He ain't shaving. He feeling it. All that. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. Right? So as it says right here, it says motions to post and revoke bond were argued Friday for Dalton Levi Etherly, who was charged in a May 13th shooting outside the Montgomery Courthouse Center. Now let's go on with the article. It goes on to say that Etherly is 28 years old, is charged with attempted murder, employing a firearm. Hold on, y'all. Oh shit. employing a firearm during the commission of a dangerous felony, aggravated assault. See, he's not going to beat the firearm during the commission of a dangerous felony. He's not beating that because he did. Aggravated assault and reckless endangerment, he's not beating that because they said that they saw bullets hitting the walls. So he's not, and that's in a courthouse area, in a common area where people, everyday people were around. So those two charges, y'all think that he getting off? He ain't even beating those two charges. He facing 30 just off those two charges. Then add another 30 on with the attempted murder and aggravated assault. But let's keep going. It says dispute over bond, donations, and source of the fund rules. Now, let's get to this, y'all, because this is very important right here. It says during the hearing, defense, the court, during the hearing, the defense, that means Dalton Etherly's lawyers, asked the court to reduce bond. Again, they wanted to reduce his bond and approve a bail source so that he could post it. Prosecutors, however, the prosecution moved to revoke his bond in his earlier, harassment case, which was bound over to the grand jury on April the 8th, according to court records. Defense attorney Jake Finley had also filed motions Thursday afternoon for the return of Etherly's truck and for LA bail bondings to post bond in excess. Under local bonding rules, no single company may write a bond over $50,000. This fool got real problems. Any bond above that amount must be approved by the court. Two companies may combine to write a bond up to $100,000, but anything higher requires a petition. Let's keep going. This fool, he is screwed. Judge William Goodman III. Now he has a new judge now. This is to be noted. He has a different judge now. Judge William Goodman III said those motions could not be heard Friday because they were filed less than 24 hours before the scheduled hearing instead of the required 10 days. So this fool got to wait another 10 days just to get an answer on this. Assistant District Attorney Chris West argued that Tennessee's source of funds statute requires that donations be verified. This is a district attorney, right? Now listen to this, y'all. He said most of the money raised for Chud, Dalton Etherly, came from anonymous or unverifiable donors. That means that all these racists is hiding their names. Let's read this again. This is why he ain't going to get out. First of all, he ain't going to get out. They're going to revoke his bond. I'm going to tell you why, because he got a whole different shit going on. And secondly, this dude is a pure buffoon. This is pure, unadulterated idiocy. When you look at a guy like Chud Dalton Etherly, the builder who runs around like and call the black folks the N-word like it's going out of style with the hard ER, right? Most of his donations came from anonymous or unverifiable donors. You know what that means? That means a lot of racists run around here supporting this dude, and they don't want their names to be exposed. Oh, you know why they don't want their names to be exposed? Because they'll get fired. They'll lose their jobs. A lot of these racists that supported Dalton Etherly, that did not put their names on their donations and did not basically, expose who they are. Guess what, y'all? They did that because it would ruin their personal lives if everybody knew they were stone cold racist, and they would be fired from their jobs for supporting and sympathizing a racist. And because all those people that donated, their histories, their backgrounds will be looked at strenuously, because they already are looking at people who are donating to this guy to see who the hell are these people, what do they do, and how do they acquire these funds. Chud ain't never getting the fuck out. He's never getting out. And this is a lesson to all you stone cold racists that want to play this game. You ain't never going to get out. You're never going to see the light of day ever again. I hope you understand this. Let's keep going. So the district attorney, they want his bond revoked for that and other reasons. And I'm going to tell you why I think they're going to revoke his bond altogether. But it says that the district attorney, Chris West, said, right, that again, the Tennessee source of funds statute requires, let me outline that so y'all can see it right here. Source of fund statute requires that donators or donations be verified. He said most of the money raised for Chud came from anonymous or unidentifiable donors, making a verification, quote unquote, virtually impossible. This all happened in court on Friday. This is crazy, and we didn't even know this. They had a secret meeting. He also said that the vast majority of the money came after this offense occurred. He added, he also asked the court to revoke Chud's bond in the harassment case. Now, for you guys who don't know, this racist piece of trash, Chud the Builder, he had an entirely different case. He had an harassment case before the attempted murder case, right? He had already been out on bond and was out on bond for the harassment case. Now, let's get to this. He says the vast majority of that money came after this offense occurred, West added. He also asked the court to revoke Etherly's bond in the harassment case, since he was out on bond when the shooting occurred. So, Chud, this is a fucking idiot. He was out on bond when the shooting occurred for a harassment case when he was harassing other folks. Make it make sense. And y'all sitting up here capping for this piece of trash racist? What the hell is wrong with you people? But let's keep going. It goes on. These people are idiots, right? So, Chud's lawyer, he asked the judge, the new judge, Judge Goodman, to overturn Judge H. Reed Poland III's earlier order prohibiting Etherly from using crowdsourced donations raised after May 13th to post bond. He said that Etherly has raised almost $300,000 and argued that the money was not tainted by criminal activity. He says there's no law that prohibits crowdsourced money being used for bail. They have laws in Tennessee, sir. Chud's lawyer is a goddamn idiot. He's a fucking idiot, bro. Chud has no other money, y'all. If they do not approve every single donation and all those money from those donations, that motherfucker gonna stay in prison. Stay in jail. He gonna stay in jail until he loses his case and go to prison. Now it says that Goodman set a hearing to rule on all the motions. So Chud goes back to court, y'all, on Wednesday. On Wednesday, Chud goes back to court. Judge Goodman set a hearing to rule on all the motions for June the 3rd at the Montgomery County courts. Hold on, my bad. No. Yeah. On Wednesday, he goes to court. On Wednesday, he goes back to court. Now, Goodman set a hearing to rule on all the motions for June the 3rd at Montgomery County Court Center. Finley noted that Chud will be coming from a court appearance in Nashville that day. So he got a different court appearance. This motherfucker got so many problems. It don't make no sense. Chud has a whole different court appearance and a whole different case that same day. So he's going to be coming from one court hearing to another court hearing. Boy, this boy is fucked. He is over for this clown. And all you little racist sympathizers, they're going to expose every last one of y'all. Because if you don't identify yourself, your donations are going to be revoked. Period. They're going to make you identify yourself. And then they're going to look in your background. And then everybody's going to know your name, where you work at, what you do, and who you represent. And some of those people who donated to him anonymously, stone cold racists working amongst us, they're going to get exposed. And the shame from them getting exposed, the shame from them being outed on social media is going to have them fired from their jobs. Because your job cannot promote a person who promotes racism. They thought they could donate to this dude anonymously and help get him bail without revealing who they are. No, you have to reveal who you are. We need to see who you are, what you do, and how you got the money. That's why he ain't ever getting out. They have to source that money and find out who it came from. If that person, where did that money came from? Shout out to Tennessee for having these laws right here, because this right here is perfect, that you get to find out who these stone cold racists are that's backing up this piece of shit. That's a real thing right there, y'all. But let's keep going. It says the fight and gunfire outside the courthouse. Ether Lee, known online as Chud the Builder, is charged in the shooting of Joshua Fox outside the courthouse. Now read this right here. This is out of the Clarksville newspaper. This ain't no Myron is that his real name Gaines coming out here telling you some shit on YouTube, right? You need to stick to doing what he do best, which is all he does is bash women. It makes me think that this dude even like women, because all he do is talk shit about women. But so it says Ether Lee, known online as Chud the Builder, is charged in the shooting of Joshua Fox outside the courthouse. And notice that Joshua Fox, ladies and gentlemen, has never been charged with any crime. If Joshua Fox attacked Chud first, wouldn't he at least be charged with an assault crime? I want y'all to think about this. Use your brain. This is how stupid people are listening to Myron, weak ass, no game. Is that his real name, Gaines? If all this shit y'all said is true, people said they seen the video, all this other shit, and that he attacked that man first, why hasn't Joshua Fox been charged with any crime? Why hasn't Joshua Fox been charged with any crime if he attacked Chud unprovoked? Why? Because you guys are liars and you're pieces of scum shit at the bottom of the barrel, and you're racist sympathizers. And that's sad that you have people that sympathize with racism, but it just shows you who they are in real life. So basically, this is why this is going on. Read the report. Ether Lee, known online as Chud the Builder, is charged in the shooting of Joshua Fox outside the courthouse. The confrontation began as a verbal dispute in the Millennium Plaza, where investigators say that Ether Lee turned his body in a bladed stance, reached for a firearm in his jacket pocket before a physical fight began. According to previous reports, during the struggle, Ether Lee fired multiple shots. Did it require him firing 7 shots? That's why he got all those other charges too. Fox was hit in the torso and the arm, and Ether Lee, dumbass, cheddar bobbed himself and shot himself in the arm. 7 shell casings were recovered, all from the same gun, which means there was no other guns. It was just Chud's. This is why all these idiots and buffoons that's running around social media lying, talking about, hey, man, the black dude hit him first time. Man, you're a fucking liar. If that black dude would have hit Chud first, they'd have charged his ass. They would have charged him with assault off the rip. You can't just walk up to people, punching people, and hauling off on people and then not be charged at all. They'd have charged him off the top. But guess what, you dumb son of, you know what? They got 12 videos. CCTV, baby. They had 12 camera angles outside the courthouse to see everything. So did Chud have the gun on him when he went in the courthouse? Oh, here's the more sinister thing. If they have on video Chud walking to his car or to his truck and getting that gun. And then Chud lied to the police. That Chud lied to the police and told the police that he was reaching for his mace when he had no mace. There was no mace on the scene, no mace in his truck, no mace at his house. So he lied to the cops. They ain't tell y'all this. All this shit they ain't tell y'all, right? But he's done, son. They'll get his ass out of here, right? So let's keep going, you guys, because it says more. It says surveillance footage with no audio captured the encounter, right? And remember, y'all, when it says no audio, and these people try to use the excuse, oh, well, he antagonized. No one will hear that shit. Y'all motherfuckers said freedom of speech. You said words should not hurt. You told black folks don't chimp out. That's what y'all said. You said freedom of speech, words don't hurt. So anything that Joshua told Chud, he could have told Chud, he could have talked about Chud's mama. It shouldn't have mattered. Words should not have hurt that dude. According to y'all. Because what did y'all say? Y'all said it's freedom of speech. You can say what you want. Y'all have no problem with Chud running around here calling people the N-word. So if Joshua Fox told Chud that he's a piece of you know what, that shouldn't hurt y'all feelings, right? Okay, now shut the hell up. Now let's get back to it. The surveillance footage with no audio captured the encounter. The investigators testified that the video shows Etherly drawing a firearm. Now remember all these dudes was lying on YouTube saying they saw the video? Remember that dude, remember the Chinese dude came out lying? Hey, we saw the video in court. You ain't nobody see the fucking video yet. Except for the goddamn cops and the goddamn lawyer who drew, the judge who drew up the fucking warrant. They didn't play the video yet. They were going to play the video in the preliminary hearing, which Chud waived because he didn't want all the media to see that fucking evidence in the preliminary hearing. That's why he waived his preliminary hearing and took it straight to the grand jury. That way, the general public didn't get to see what piece of shit he is and what really happened. So it leaves these other dudes like that weak ass, fake ass, capping ass, wannabe lawyer. What's his name? Andrew Blanca. Yeah, you, bro, you disgusting. You're disgusting. Him and like I said, Myron, is that his real name? No game gains, right? To sit out here and cap for people on the internet for this shit. But it says surveillance video with no audio captured the encounter. And investigators testified that the video shows Etherly drawing a firearm, not mace, as he later claimed. He lied to the cops and told them he pulled out mace. Motherfucker ain't had no mace on him, didn't have no mace in the car, didn't have no mace in his home. See how these niggas come on YouTube and lie? See how niggas come on YouTube and just make up stories? Huh? Chud told the cops, man, I reached for my mace. Bitch, you ain't had no mace on you. They didn't find no mace on you, no mace on the scene, no trace of mace, and no mace in your car, truck, or in your home. Chud is a fucking liar. He's a liar. Read it right there. This is why he's never getting out of prison. And I hope that they lock this motherfucker up for the rest of his natural life so the whole world can see. This is what happens when you want to play stupid game. You're going to get stupid fucking prizes. So they said that the video shows Etherly drawing a firearm, not mace, as he later claimed. Fox was flown to the Vanderbilt University Medical Center in Nashville for emergency surgery, and he survived. So he didn't catch a body. And remember that bitch said he was going to beat the case? No, motherfucker. Your ass is going to prison. You probably thought you was going to get bond too, right? His May 15th arraignment, at his May 15th arraignment, the judge Poland advised Etherly of the charges and potential sentencing ranges, which include 15 to 60 fucking years in prison on attempted murder if convicted. Poland set the initial bond at $1.25 million, noting a number of bystanders in the plaza and seriousness of the incident, according to previous reports. Think about this. At a May 21st bond hearing, investigators detailed additional. Look at this. At a May 21st bond hearing, investigators detailed additional findings, including a bulletproof vest and an airline ticket to Istanbul dated May 22nd, found in Etherly's truck. He was going, listen. So basically what it looked like was going to happen is he already had all these cases on him. Guess what it looked like Chud was going to do, y'all? Chud was going to take all y'all donation money and bail, it seems like. That's what it seems like he was going to do. All you weasels who backed him up, what it seems like Chud was going to do now is shoot a black man because he had no mace nowhere in his house. He had no mace nowhere in his car, in his truck. He had no mace on him. All he had was that pistol. He seems like he was going to pop that dude, hop on a plane, use all y'all donations, and disappear overseas. And guess what? His dumbass lawyer tried to tell the court, oh, well, he's going to come back. He had a round trip. He's coming back. Fuck you mean he's coming back? Here's the question. Why would he go to Turkey? What was he going to be doing in Turkey? I'd love to hear your excuse for this one. What the fuck was Chud, who had just applied for a passport? See, they don't tell y'all all this shit. He had just applied for a passport too. So it wasn't like he had already had a passport. He had just applied for one. What the fuck was he going to do in Turkey, in Istanbul? That's all the way across the world. What he got popping over there? Who do he know in Turkey? Make it make sense. That boy was going to shoot that black man, in my opinion, take all y'all donation money, cash out, and then get out and disappear overseas. Gonna go to Turkey and then disappear. You never seen that motherfucker again. He got his way somehow, got weaseled his way out of Turkey somewhere. Trust what I'm telling y'all this. Trust what I'm telling y'all. And he would have took all that donation money and disappeared in the thin air. Right? But his plan went backwards. Plan went backwards because he got arrested. Poland, right? So, excuse me, it says at a May 21st bond hearing, investigators detailed additional findings, including a bulletproof vest and an airline ticket to Istanbul dated May the 22nd. That's the very next day after the shooting, found in Ethely's truck. Finley noted that there was also a return ticket. That's his lawyer. And said that Ethely was not a flight risk. How is he not a flight risk? He had a flight the next day after shooting the dude to Istanbul, Turkey. Man, get out of here. Officers also recovered a rifle, a shotgun, ammunition, and a suspected bag of marijuana and electronic devices from Ethely's home. Poland reset bond at $1 million, noting state laws require it to at least double the customary amount. This is why guys like Myron, weak ass, no game, is that your real name, Gaines, is full of shit. Him and Mr. Blanca, the other fake ass capping ass dude who run around here acting like he a lawyer with no cases. Right? Read this part right here. So it says that the Poland, that's the first judge, reset the bond at $1 million, noting that state law requires. This is the reason why his bond was $1 million. Everybody said, why is such a bigger bond? Because they have state laws, asshole light. And a lot of people not telling y'all the truth out here. When they don't tell y'all the truth and they lie and smash the like button, we should have a lot more likes. When they tell the lie to y'all and put this lie and repeat lies, then y'all believe the lies that Myron, weak ass, no game, is that your real name, Gaines, is out here from Fresh and Fit, is out here putting out here to the public. And that nigga had a badge and a gun. And I'm talking about Myron. That dude was a former officer of the law. And look how he talk, look how he act, and look how he think. Would you ever respect an authority figure with the mindset of a dude like Myron Gaines, if that's his real name? And y'all wonder why don't nobody trust the authorities. Because you got dudes like him with a mentality like his running around here. If you was a woman and Myron was an officer on your case, would you trust him to do what's right? Look how he think. Look how he talk. Look how he act. If you're a regular person in society, if you're a black man in society, they ought to strip that nigga's credentials. He ought to been sent out of there in disgrace. That's what they should have. Hearing all this shit, and he out here defending a stone cold racist. Straight up. And you supposed to be a former federal officer? He shows y'all. They show all of y'all what's going on. You see it right here. Right? The reason why the man's bail was $1 million, not because of racism, because they were saying, oh man, this is biased. This isn't fair. This person, that. Bro, all them other people they named, first of all, they weren't in Tennessee. Second of all, under the law, you have to look at what happened. Their bails got reduced to a certain amount because it was legal. Chud's situation is different. Read the blue part I outlined. Poland reset the bond at $1 million, noting that state law requires it to at least be double the customary amount. Since Janet Jackass, Dalton Ethely, was already out on bond on 2 other cases, one in Montgomery County for harassment and one in Davidson County for disorderly conduct, resisting arrest, and theft. So they didn't tell y'all that. See, all the racist sympathizers for this dude didn't tell y'all the reason why his bail was so high is because state law required them to double the amount because he was already out on bond in 2 other cases. But that dusty ass lawyer, Andrew Blanca, and I'm talking to you, Andrew, you a lawyer with no cases, all. Where your cases at, bro? You talked all this shit online to get all these followers off the racist back of Chud the Builder. But why you ain't take your ass down at that courthouse and help take that case pro bono? When I cooked your ass on that, you blocked me and you ran from that smoke. User fraud, we see through you. Point blank, period. You're a racist sympathizer, and I told you that. And you got mad when I told you that because you know I told you the truth. And man, I'm thinking that I'm thinking more than that. But to the least, you are a racist sympathizer because you sympathize with Chud the Builder. So anyways, like I said to y'all, and I'll say it again, it's right there on your screen. So don't let nobody come lie to y'all. When they lie to y'all and say, hey man, this is outrageous. Look at the bail for this. Look at the bail for Carmelo Anthony. Wasn't Carmelo Anthony bail originally $1 million and then they got reduced to $250? Wasn't that, is that not right? That's correct, right? That is correct, right? Right? I'm just saying. Right? Oh, well, Chud, because see, I'm going to tell you something, man. It's effed up, man, because look at Chud, man. Chud was already out on bond on 2 different cases. This nigga was shooting somebody on bond. That's why he's never getting out of jail again. And all y'all did was waste y'all money. And all of you people that gave unverified donations, guess what? If you want your donations to count, you have to reveal who you are. And once you reveal who you are, it's going to destroy your life because everybody's going to know you're a stone cold racist. And you're going to lose your job. Your 9 to 5, you're going to lose it. And your funds that you donated to him, they're going to investigate all the funds. Like I said, they had a surprise court hearing last Friday with Chud. I'm surprised we didn't all know about this, but they had a surprise court hearing. And during his hearing, the prosecution now is pushing to have his bond revoked. And I believe that his bond will be revoked. Because you know why? All these stone cold racists and racist sympathizers, they scared to put their name on this shit. They scared to stand on their nuts, on their baby nuts, and put their name on that because they will get exposed. And whatever business they may have, whoever they work for, it'll all be exposed to the world that you're a stone cold racist sympathizer, right? And you're supporting a stone cold racist who call blacks the N-word. So all those people who sent little $150, $200 donations, but you send it anonymously, but your ass is out here working regular jobs thinking nobody will know that you support that type of racism. Once your funds have to get confirmed and they find out where your money came from and who your real name is, and they're going to make all y'all pop out. And that's going to expose you to the world. And then that's going to ostracize you because your employer is not going to be able to allow you to work knowing that you sympathize and support a stone cold racist. So for you guys who don't know, Chud had a surprise hearing on last Friday. And the prosecution, the district attorney came out and says, no, we want to revoke his bail. We want to revoke his bond altogether. This fool was out on 2 bonds already and shot a black man, unarmed, on 2 bonds already. Revoke this fucking bond. And not only that, it's against the law in Tennessee to accept donations that are not verified. Read this part again. This is the golden part of it all that they stated. Judge William Goodman III said that those motions could not be heard Friday because they were filed less than 24 hours before scheduled hearing instead of the required 10 days. Assistant District Attorney Chris West argued that Tennessee's source of funds statute requires donations to be verified. He said most of the money raised for Dalton came from anonymous or unidentifiable donors, making verification of this virtually impossible. The vast majority of that money came after this offense occurred, West added. He also asked the court to revoke Chud's bond in the harassment case since he was out on bond when the shooting occurred. He gonna get his bond revoked. And on Wednesday, I believe his bond will be revoked. I believe this will ignite these racists again. I believe they will be red hot when they find out that his bond will be revoked. And I think it's gonna cause another issue. I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. I truly believe that them revoking his bond is gonna cause a whole nother issue with these stone cold racists, man. These racists, in my opinion, bro, they're not gonna quit, bro. They're not gonna quit, bro. I don't believe these racists they're gonna be so upset when the judge revokes his bond on Wednesday, because he got to go back to court on Wednesday. When he go back to court, they're gonna revoke his fucking bond. He's gonna get his ass up out of here. He got to go. They're gonna get, trust me, I tell you this, they're gonna get him the F up out of it. He gonna go. They're gonna get his ass out of here. Trust and believe what I'm telling y'all. He's cooked food. Right? He's cooked food, man. And, you know, again, for everybody that's supporting this guy, think about yourselves, man. Think about yourselves, man. You have to be a sick individual to support a dude like this. Soul. To support a dude like Chud the Builder. A stone cold racist. Right? But it's going to all get exposed to the whole general public. This fool was out on 2 bonds. To the Pookie Bear in the comments, he says he's crazy out on bond. No, he was out on 2 bonds. This is why he got $1 million bail. He was out, this motherfucker was out on 2 bonds and violated both bonds. Make it make sense, brother. Make it make sense. He was out on 2 bonds and violated both bonds. How do you violate both bonds when you out on 2 bonds? Make it make sense. You have to be a whole idiot to be out on 2 bonds and violate both your bonds. Right? You have to be a damn fool. Only a fool. But I want to show y'all something. I'm going to show y'all something. I want to show everybody that's watching this video something. I'm going to show y'all something. And this is going to end everything. Again, this is the newest picture from him in court. That beard is building up right here. Let me click this. Hold on. Y'all see that beard? That beard is getting out of control for this dude, bro. Y'all could tell he's stressing in there, man. He definitely stressing, right? He definitely stressing in there. Y'all see it? Look at him. That motherfucker stressing. He is stressing, right? But let's look at this real quick, you guys. Let me put this on the screen for you guys. Hold on. Put this on the screen for y'all. Hopefully y'all can see this. Y'all let me know if y'all can see this on the screen. I'm putting it on the screen right now. I don't know what here we go right here. All right, y'all can see that, right? So let's look, because a lot of people are saying, oh, he's made bail. He ain't made shit. Shut up. Now, let's look at this, y'all. No. Dalton Etherly, the controversial online live streamer known as Chud the Builder, has not made bail and remains jailed in Montgomery County, Tennessee. Current bond amount. His current bond is set at $1 million. It was initially set at $1.25 million by General Sessions Court Judge Reed Poland III, but was lowered on May the 21st, 2026, when his case was formally bound over to a grand jury. Release status. He remains in custody. If he is eventually able to post a $1 million bond, court order conditions for his release will include GPS monitoring, strict restrictions on his social media activity, and a ban from discussing the case online. Etherly was arrested following a daylight shooting May the 13th, 2026, outside the Montgomery Courthouse in Clarksville, Tennessee. Hold on, y'all. I have some more information for this. I want to show y'all. Hold on. I have some more information I want to show y'all. Hold on 1 second. I don't know why I didn't pull this up for y'all. My bad. I apologize, you guys. I wanted to pull it up. I wanted to pull it up for y'all. I don't know why my computer's acting slow today. That joint acting real slow today. It's ticking me off a little bit, to be honest with y'all, man. Hold on. Here we go. Hold on, you guys. Here we go. Hold on. Let me see. I don't know why that joint acting like this. This joint really ticking me off right now, man. Okay, I got it. I got it right here. I got it. Here we go. I got it right here. All right. So, put this on the screen. Y'all can see that, right? Oh, no, y'all can't see it. My bad. It says right there, Dalton Ethan Lee currently has 2 distinct sets of upcoming court appearances across different counties, due to his multiple active cases. One, he has the Nashville case. That's basically Davidson County Court. So this fool got so many cases up here. It is disgusting. He's done, bro. It says for his initial May 2026 arrest involving theft of services. Right? Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Damn, how did I lose that? Hold on, you guys. What? How did I lose that? Hold on, you guys. How the hell did I? Okay, hold on. Accidentally, hold on, man. I know I was sharing that. Hold on, here we go. I think this is it right here. Am I? Okay, yeah, here we go. So it says, the Nashville case, Davidson County Court. That's what we're reading right there, y'all. Nashville case, Davidson County Court. This is an idiot, boy. It says for his initial May 2026 arrest involving theft of services, disorderly conduct, and resisting arrest at a Broadway steakhouse, his upcoming dates are June the 3rd. So these are his upcoming court dates. Listen to this idiot. In the Nashville case, he has to be in court on June the 3rd, which is Wednesday, right? Scheduled for a trial hearing before Judge Melissa Blackburn in courtroom 3A of the Birch Building. So he's got multiple hearings on Wednesday. So the case in Nashville, remember, because the case we talking about is in Clarksville, but he's got the other case from the harassment. He got to go to 2 cases in the same day. This dude's a fucking idiot. So he has to go to that case on June the 3rd, 2026. Now that's scheduled for a trial hearing before Judge Melissa Blackburn in courtroom 3A of the Birch Building, right? Now that is for his initial May 2026 arrest involving the theft of services, disorderly conduct, and resisting arrest at a Broadway steakhouse, right? Also, he has another court date on July the 17th, 2026, scheduled for a subsequent settlement hearing in the same Davidson County Criminal Court. Then, secondly, the courthouse shooting case in Montgomery County Court, right? He has a grand jury arraignment, which that date is pending. His previous general sessions hearing, originally set for May the 26th, was canceled because of his felony attempted murder case was officially bound over to a grand jury. Remember, he foregone the preliminary hearing because he didn't want everybody in the media and all the public who've been giving him these blind donations, he didn't want them to see that evidence that they were going to show at the preliminary hearing. They show all the evidence, meaning they show a lot of the evidence they got. Think about this. In the preliminary hearing, they're going to show that video to the court. And when the courthouse seen that video and all the press and all the people seen that video and they put that video out, it's going to show that this dude's a piece of shit and he's a fraud. And that he shot this dude and this dude didn't hit him first. That changes the entire narrative. So Chud being smart, that's the reason why he forewent his preliminary hearing. See, a preliminary hearing, what that does is that sets the basis for them to show that they have enough evidence to go ahead and charge you and send you on to, you know what I'm saying, a grand jury your ass, right? That's where they bring up all the evidence, the real witnesses, and everybody that was on the scene, the video and everything. Think about what I just said to y'all. So that's why he foregone that, because he didn't want them to bring forth that at that time in front of all of those people. Because now that changed the narrative when they play that tape in court, when they show that you went for reach for that gun before that man hit you. Now, guess what happens? Myron, weak ass, no game is at his real name Gaines, and all these other fools, Andrew Blanc and all these other fools, look like damn fools, and they have nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. And your support goes out the window because, hey man, you reached for your gun first, then you lied to the cops and told them you was reaching for mace, but you had no mace on you. You had no mace in your trunk, and you had no mace in your house. Liar. So anyways, the second one says courthouse shooting, Montgomery County Court. The grand jury arraignment date pending his previous general sessions hearing, originally set for May the 26th, was canceled because his felony attempted murder case was officially bound over to the grand jury. Because it has been transferred from general sessions to circuit court, his next formal court date in Clarksville will be an arraignment scheduled once the grand jury returns an indictment, y'all. Then it goes on. He most recently appeared in Montgomery Courthouse on Friday, May the 29th. Remember I told y'all he had a surprise hearing we didn't even know about. So he was in the Montgomery Courthouse on May the 29th for a motions hearing regarding the state to push to revoke his bond, and his defense pushed to approve his bail source. He's screwed. If you did this and you were already on bond for 2 different cases, you are a damn fool, boy. You a damn fool. And that's the reason Myron lying ass, weak ass Gaines, is that his real name, was on YouTube lying to everybody. Oh man, this is insane. No, it's not. It's Tennessee law that your bond has to double because he was already out on bond. In the nature of his charges, and he was already out on bond. So when you commit a crime and you're already out on 2 bonds, what do you think gonna happen? Think you gonna get a low bond again? Fuck out here with that bullshit. Now you for today. He lucky they ain't revoked this bond, which I think this is what they're gonna do, because his lawyer is gonna have to verify all the sources of those donations, and when they do, I told you it's gonna expose all the races that have been supporting him. Right? It's going to expose all the races. Hold on. I'm about to show y'all something. Watch this right here. I'm finna show y'all something. He's toast. I'm finna show y'all something right now. Read that, y'all. Yes, Dalton Etherly, Chud the Builder. Read that, y'all. Dalton Etherly, Chud the Builder, and his defense team. Right? Read that first line. This is why y'all, all these dudes who are racist that are sympathizing with this dude, y'all motherfuckers have to come to the front of the class and expose who you are. If the judge does not revoke his bond, just for him to get out, y'all are gonna have to all come out and not only name your names, but how you got the money. A lot of people are gonna revoke their donations after this. It says yes. Dalton Etherly, Chud the Builder, and his defense team must provide verifiable personal details and clear proof regarding the source of his bail funds. Under Tennessee's source of funds statute, the state has actively challenged the money raised for his release, creating a massive hurdle for his defense. The source of funds mandate. Assistant District Attorney Chris West has argued that the state law strictly requires all donations, all of them, to be verified. All you racists got to come to the front of the class, man. The crowdfunding issue. Because the vast majority of the $268,000 plus raised on platforms like GoSend, GiveSendGo came from anonymous. Think about this. This lets y'all know how much racism it is in America. Most of these racist motherfuckers wouldn't put their name behind this shit. They ain't got no heart. Most of his donations came from unverified people. People who didn't want you to know that they're racist sympathizers or they're stone cold racists themselves. Read that. The crowdfunding issue. It says right there. Because the vast majority of the $268,000 plus raised on platforms like GiveSendGo came from anonymous or unidentifiable donors, prosecutors argue that verifying the money is virtually impossible. This lack of transparency to prevent those funds is being used, right? Is being used, right? So that means that they all wasted their money. All the motherfuckers who donated to him, and most of his donations came from people who are unverified, they wasted their money because he can't use any of that money because they didn't put their names on it and the source of how they got that money. Imagine donating $300,000 to a mofo he can't even use because you sent it to him. You sent it to him privately, unidentified, anonymously. Oh, you racist boy, y'all lose every time. Then you try and hide and act like you don't want motherfuckers to see who you really are. Well, if you want Chud to get out, you're gonna have to say who you are, who you work for, and how you got that money. Oh man, y'all boy ain't never getting out. That motherfucker ain't never getting out. Third-party complications. This is what also hurt him. Remember they said there was another company that was gonna come up and do it? Guess what, y'all? That gets shot down too. Third-party complications. A crypto gambling platform named Duel reportedly offered to cover his $1 million bail or bond. However, this corporate backing, right, is subject to the same strict court scrutiny and must pass a formal source hearing to prove that those funds are legitimate and legally permissible before any release is approved. They're toast. You think these shady ass companies will come out here and show the source of their funds in a Tennessee court for the feds and jump on their motherfucking ass? I think's not. I think's not. I think's not. Then this is why he screwed another way. Bonding company rules. Local regulators state that no single bail company can write a bond over $50,000 without a formal petition and direct court approval. His defense is currently fighting to have a specific bondsman approved to bypass this. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. Watch this. Watch what I'm finna show y'all now. Look at Chud, y'all. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Right? Right? I want y'all to see this. Right? Right? Let me put this up here. All right, I'm put this up here for y'all. Hold on. Here we go. Now, can I take that off? Okay, my bad, y'all. I was looking at a different screen. Let me put that right there for y'all. Read this, y'all. Yes, the identities of anyone paying or guaranteeing Chud or Dalton Etherly's bond will be fully revealed to the court and to the state. Oh, these racists can't fucking hide, man. This is bad news for Chud, bro. Under Tennessee law, anyone attempting to post bail for him must participate in a formal source of funds hearing. So they got to have a whole hearing for this shit. The court mandates full transparency regarding the identity of financial backers for the following reasons, you guys. 1, verification of the payer. To post $1 million bond, the individual or corporate entity must be explicitly identified on all legal court filings. The defense must petition the court to formally approve the specific source. Anonymous individuals are legally barred from securing the defendant's release under this process. That means all the money that he gained, most of it was from anonymous people, is irrelevant. He'll never be able to use it. He will never be able to use that shit. 2, y'all wasted y'all fucking money, dummies. 2, proof of legal sourcing. The state requires that the person or entity provide the money or providing the money to show exactly where the cash or collateral originated. They're toast. You think these motherfuckers gonna show where that money came from? This is done to ensure the funds do not stem from 1, illicit activities or illegal means, 2, unauthorized, unidentifiable crowdfunding campaigns, 3, profiting off the publicity of the crime itself. Game over. That means if somebody else do a fundraiser and get the money and then go up there and say, I got the money for bond, they got to show how they got that money. They got to show their financial records and everything. He's toast, bro. That motherfucker ain't getting out. And y'all sitting over here acting like he gonna get out. And 3rd, examination of third-party entities. When a third party such as crypto gambling platform Duo offers to post a massive bond, they cannot do so anonymously. Company representative, corporate financial accounts, and the legal arrangement between the company and the defendant must be fully exposed to the prosecution and the judge for vetting. Because the prosecution has already successfully blocked anonymous internet donations, any future attempt to bail them out will require a known entity to step forward, state their name on the record, and open their finances to court scrutiny. Game over. That motherfucker ain't going nowhere. This is what happened when you're stone cold racist and you're so when Myron, is that his real name? Weak ass, fresh and fit Gaines come out here and lie to y'all and tell y'all this bullshit. When Andrew Blanca comes out here talking gibberish, ask them about the facts. Why you think they stopped doing this content? They know it's over with. The jig is up. Like, share, subscribe.
Hey, we always appreciate the support, and if you guys want to do so, you can use the Cash App or PayPal links. They'll be in the description box below this video or pinned at the top of the comments. The top donators will be announced every month. All right, you guys, hope y'all enjoyed the video. Like, share, and subscribe. Make sure y'all cop the merch, and make sure that you get the weight loss formula. The links to that will be in the description box below this video. Check out our next video coming up right now.